Thank you and welcome from the town of St. Andrews. My name is Paul Knopper. I'm the Clerk Senior Administrator. We are excited here to be graced upon many of our members of council, MLA representatives, and minister representatives of ACOA. We are very excited to be here. I would like to first do a land recognition. We are on the unceded territory of the Pescataway people, and we are very thankful for their participation and support in this. So today, I would like to first introduce Minister Ginette Petitpas Taylor. She is the Minister of ACOA and Official Languages for the Government of Canada. Minister Petitpas Taylor.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here on this beautiful day. As I've indicated this morning, you can thank the federal government for this fine weather today. We've turned the switch on, so it's a perfect day for this wonderful announcement. I'd also like to take a moment just to say a special welcome to MLA Kathy Baucus from St. Croix, Mayor Brad Henderson, Deputy Mayor and Town Councillors and staff for being here today, Dr. David Johnson from Sortie Rep, Carolyn Davies, the chair of Age Friendly, and also the former mayor, Stan Hopiani. I hope I got that right. Chopiani. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'd also like to recognize my dear friend and former colleague, Karen, for being here today. Karen, thank you so much for being here and supporting, again, this project in your community. It's always great to see you. So we had an opportunity to have lunch before we came to the official announcement. Yeah. So once again, it's truly an honor for me to be here with all of you today. And over the past week, we've started a New Brunswick tour when it came to official languages matter, but also predominantly ACOA. So we started our tour yesterday in Tobique First Nations, and we met with some groups from the Wabanaki Maple Company, which was fantastic to see the work that is being done there. And then from there today, we visited Potential Motors. It's a company who's developing the electrification of off-road vehicles. Again, which was really, really cool. And then we also visited Howell Ventures in Upper Kingsclear, which is an adaptive driving aid company. So I thought it was quite appropriate that we were here making this announcement today because they are also dealing with accessibility related issues as well. But great companies, great groups that are doing really innovative work in our province. But I have to say, St. Andrews is my favorite town in New Brunswick, so I was extremely pleased to be here today to come and do this personal announcement on behalf of the Government of Canada. And again, wanted to take a moment to really thank St. Andrews Outdoor Recreation and the Trails Inc., or Sortie, and the town of St. Andrews for hosting us here today. I'm pleased to be here to share some good news for Sortie and this region as a whole. As we all know, COVID-19 and the pandemic has had devastating impacts on all aspects of our lives. And there's no denying that communities, large and small, urban or rural, have suffered dramatically from the impacts of COVID-19. Many people in our communities have faced some very unique challenges. And our government has been there for Canadians every step of the way by investing in supports and measures needed to drive economic recovery and also to make our communities safer and more accessible for all Canadians. We recognize that investing in community infrastructure is truly essential to providing communities with the building blocks they need to support a higher standard of living and a higher standard of living for everyone. Our community and cultural spaces connect us to each other and allow us to be active participants in our towns and also within our neighborhoods. Public investment is also a good way to boost our local economy. And targeted investments in infrastructure build stronger, more inclusive communities and make a difference in the everyday lives of Canadians. Recreational spaces like the park that Sortie works to create and advocate for are important for our communities. They really serve as a gathering space for residents, families, and visitors. And I truly can't think of a more appropriate place with this facility just next door here. They also do more than that, though. They raise the quality of life, they stimulate economic activity, and they build vitality within our communities. And that is why the Government of Canada launched the Canada Community Revitalization Fund as a part of our plan to build back better. Which brings me to why that I'm so pleased to be here today. I'm pleased to be here on behalf of the Government of Canada to announce that through Atlantic Canada's Opportunity Agency, or better known as ACOA, we're contributing $70,294 for the St. Andrews Outdoor Recreational Trail Groups. Aujourd'hui, je suis très contente au nom du gouvernement du Canada qu'on annonce une contribution de 70 294 $ pour ce fabuleux projet. This contribution will allow the organization to create a wellness park with 8 exercise stations in St. Andrews. And I think this picture here gives us a quick snapshot of what that's going to look like. So it's quite exciting, actually. The park will improve access to outdoor recreation and enhance health and wellness for all ages and all levels of mobility. By investing in today to rebuild and renew community infrastructure, our government is driving economic activity. We're creating jobs and strengthening the middle class for years to come. We're ensuring that Canadians can live, work, and play in their communities, and that is truly an investment that is worth making. I'm confident that the Wellness Park in St. Andrews will benefit the local economy and really rekindle that community spirit, especially after 2.5 years of a global pandemic. So I want to take a moment to congratulate each and every one of you who have worked so hard to make this project a reality. And I'm truly looking forward to coming back to St. Andrews when the development of the project is all done, and we'll be looking forward perhaps to taking part in some of these activities. So once again, a special thank you to each and every one of you for joining us today. St. Andrews is a wonderful, vibrant community, and this investment is going to make it even just a little bit more special. So thank you again for being here today.
Thank you, Minister Petitpas Taylor. That was a wonderful speech, and we truly appreciate you coming and staying in St. Andrews for the day and experiencing what tourism really is and what our community is made of. So thank you very much. I would like to now introduce Dr. David Johnson from the St. Andrews Outdoor Recreation and Trails Inc. to say a few words on behalf of their committee. Dr. Johnson?
Thank you very much, Paul. I agree with Paul. That was a wonderful speech, especially the bit about $71,000, for which we're very, very grateful. I'll talk a little bit about wellness parks. Wellness parks are not indoor gyms outside. They both have the same aim, which is to improve the health of the community, but they approach it in a different manner. The wellness parks are sometimes called playgrounds for grown-ups. Encourage people to exercise in a fun way rather than possibly the no pain, no gain that sometimes occurs in gyms. They are meant to serve a wide demographic from all age groups and all abilities, from the couch potato to the jock. They are meant to be visible, and so that people can see others exercising, and people like me using it and feel that if he can do it, then so can I. I think it differs a little bit from indoor gyms, where it probably would be frowned upon to peer in the window and watch people exercising. They are in the outdoors, and there's evidence to show that exercising outdoors is more enjoyable. People tend to do it longer. It's better than exercising in front of a television. The park is geared to making it accessible to the 10-12% of the New Brunswick population who do have mobility issues, and either due to trauma or to neurological diseases such as MS or strokes or Parkinson's disease or arthritis or other medical conditions. The machines that we have there, you can see pictures of them. The 4 exercise groups. There's the cardio exercises, or muscle strengthening exercises, flexibility exercises, and balance exercises. And the machines will help all these. Additionally, as the Minister says, we hope it to become a social meeting place for intergeneration meeting of the town. Briefly, one benefit of the The muscle strengthening exercises are not there just to give us beautiful abs when we're on the beach. There's benefit to, the stronger bones. There's evidence that it helps blood pressure, diabetes, stronger bones, so we don't injure ourselves as much when we fall. There's one group, or one benefit of the muscle strengthening exercises, the balance exercises, and the flexibility ones, is they help. If improvement in those factors help to prevent falls in the elderly, which sounds nice. It sounds motherhood, but when you look at the numbers, this has a very significant effect on healthcare costs and on people. I was looking at the numbers recently. Something like 70 to 80,000 people are admitted to hospital from falls in or around our homes each year. This incident, it starts, or the incidence increases after about the age of 60, where 1 in 3 people will have a fall each year, and it rises to 1 in 2 people over the age of 80. This has people are in hospital for long periods of time. A number of them are affected. They get the fear of falling syndrome, so their lifestyle changes completely. They're afraid to go out. And there is a significant number of deaths occurring from this. In 2019, I looked up the numbers, and something like 5,700 people died from directly related to falls. When you compare this to road traffic accidents in the same year, there were 1,700, so there are 3 times at least as many people die from falls in their home. Exercising in muscle strength, flexibility, and balance, we can improve these numbers. So that's my little spiel on the park. I would just like to thank everybody for coming, especially the Minister for ACOA, and the grant of 3/4 of the cost of this trail of the park is going to ensure that it happens. And thank you so much for that. Really, thank you. The town of St Andrews has put in funding. The age-friendly, my goodness, age-friendly group managed to get a federal grant from New Horizons and put money into that. We've had support from positive support from Ability New Brunswick. My friend Wilford there has been pushing for this. The Kiwanis, obviously, from which ACOA SOTI developed, has also been an enthusiastic producer of the trails and what we're doing now. Kathy, where are you? Karen Ludwig, I thank you for your positive help. My friend Sylvia Humphreys there has been sending me pictures of wellness parks for the last 3 years, and I hope her husband now can say she can no longer needs to do that. Thank you, though, and Paul for winding me up. Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Did well. Appreciate it. So yes, thank you, Dr. Johnson. It was much appreciated for your speech from SORTI and how it's encouraging their continued efforts to making our community accessible. I would now like to introduce Carolyn Davies. She's the chair of our Age-Friendly Community Committee, and I would like her to speak a few words on Age-Friendly. Carolyn.
Good afternoon, everyone, and fabulous. I'm surprised there's this many people here just because it's so gorgeous. You could be out in the water, you could be playing tennis, you could be playing golf, you could be reading a book, which is what I was trying to do this morning until my brother said, you need to go sailing. So one of the things, we have a very active age-friendly advisory committee, which was set up by the town after they received and approved our recommendations from the age-friendly community initiative. We got recognized by the province as an age-friendly community in 2019. And I don't have to tell this group, but the whole thing behind age-friendly is to have opportunities for people to get involved. So whether it's doing these, which I'm going to be probably one of the first, Dave, or playing cards at Europa, or doing bingo on Tuesday nights. There's always something for people to get together because, as you know, Minister, you know probably better than most of us, social inclusion is so important for our mental and physical well-being. And having these, we had, as Dave said, we had applied for a grant to get exercise equipment to put in the indoor gym that we were hoping to have, we the community, not we Age Friendly, were hoping to have at the arena. We couldn't find anybody to run it, so it was decided to put this money towards the outdoor equipment, which under COVID, the amount of families and just people in general who use the trails increased exponentially. I mean, that was one thing that people in their bubble could do and do safely. And it just really emphasized, I mean, Dave and I have had a few conversations, just one or 60 or 70. But in talking with him about how we could use this money and what his idea was, this would enhance all these people of the community getting out and being active. And as Dave said, if you're active, chances are you'll live a long and healthy life. We have a community here. Age-friendly in our community means all ages. It means an accent on intergenerational activities, which this will allow. But all aspects of this community, and Brad, if I'm stealing your thunder, I'm sorry, but not really. I was out this morning, out sailing, but there was the youth sailing camp, which had about 12 kids out learning to sail, being coached by somebody who's under 20. I mean, talk about great community involvement. There was a family of adults, so the adult child, who would be probably in their 30s, and their parents were out kayaking. I'm going dragon boating this evening, which is another initiative that came out of Age Friendly. And, sorry, Paul. Our oldest member is 87, and he will be out there tonight. Our youngest member is 14. So you get all these activities in this community, which, to Dave's point, if you're physically active, you're mentally and physically well. So, Dave, where'd you go? Thanks for persevering, because I know there were days that it was tough. And we'll talk about what we're going to do at the new Passamaquoddy Lodge to keep the trails going there. This is not a dead issue. Minister Petitpas Taylor, fabulous. And thank your agency. Thanks to your agency, we're going to see this realized, and it is really, really good.
Thank you, Carolyn. I much appreciate your integrity when it comes to our age-friendly communities, and really how age-friendly has created a social atmosphere in our community that's open, transparent, and welcoming. So thank you very much for your efforts in our community. I would now like to ask our Mayor, Brad Henderson, to come to the forefront to say a few words on behalf of the town. Mayor Henderson.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, Minister Petitpas Taylor, I just wanted to say how much we truly appreciate both ACOA and the federal government investing in this project. And you did say that St. Andrews is your favorite town, so we welcome you anytime you want to come to make an announcement. You pick the location, we'll put the podium. So I also wanted to recognize our MLA, Kathy Baucus. I thought she had a scheduling conflict, but I think she juggled something around to make it possible. So thank you very much for being here today. We appreciate that. Got Deputy Mayor Akaji right there. Got Councillor Gumashel with better hair than me at the back. Councillor Heenan, I just wanted to thank you all for being here. When you talk about age-friendly community, I really appreciate Caroline for kind of kicking it off. But the reality is we had a group of volunteers in our community that spent thousands and thousands of hours consulting with the public, finding out what their need, working on the designation. And I think it's important for this council not just to take that document and say thank you very much, but to make it a living document. And you can see that it's a type of document that you just don't check the box and you're done. As a community, it's always evolving. And this particular project, I think, is an important part of it. A lot of people, when they went through the consultation, I was up there at the arena, and they were talking about how there's no place that's really affordable for people to get outside and use fitness equipment. And the fact that we were able not to necessarily have to get a cheap gym membership, but the fact that we've got a free one, I think that speaks volumes to checking the box. And I want to just give a shout out. I know that they were mentioned earlier, but Mayor Chop-Diani, former Mayor Chop-Diani, as well as Sylvia are here. Interesting enough, they were definitely engaged throughout the process, but some people that make recommendations, when they end up becoming beside your house, sometimes you hear some resistance towards it. And the fact that both of you were one of the first people to send a message to Town Hall to say, this is great and it's in your backyard, that speaks volumes to the commitment that you have, and I think you should be acknowledged for that type of leadership. Obviously, SORTI, I think if there's anyone other than Dr. Johnson that did more presentations to council over the last few years, it might be actually Caroline, but we do appreciate all the commitment, and it's not just this particular project. We are so blessed to have SORTI and, of course, the Kiwanis as well before that really have developed a trail system that most communities of 2000 don't have. We simply are really blessed to have such a trail system, and what they're doing now is it's not just a trail system, they're adding things along it, whether it be a bird platform or whether it be this. It's becoming more and more interesting. It's becoming a recreation hub, and I think the town's going to have to look at potentially investing in washrooms on that side of town as well. We're short them in the community. I think it's something council's going to have to consider. But all in all, thank you, Dr. Johnson and your entire team for staying the course and helping make this a reality. I want to thank council and staff for the town of St. Andrews. One of the first things when we got this original project that council kind of said is we had a young individual named Jackson Levitt who stopped by Council Hall, and he was the ambassador for red shirts. And he gave me a red shirt, and you know, he's an ambassador to say that when we do something in this community, it should be accessible for all. So even when we didn't know if the funding was there or not, we said if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. It's not going to be just some equipment on lawn. We're going to make it accessible for everyone in the community. So I really wanted to acknowledge council on making that a priority. And as well staff, obviously the ones designing, I think it was Terry Acton that originally came up with this design. We're so talented to have Terry Acton. And just on age-friendly community, this is a big check the box. I know, Caroline, you put your plug in, I'll put my plug in. We're obviously excited about the potential for a new lodge. We've got to keep the focus on that as well. It's something our community needs. I know MLA Kathy Baucus is in support, so we're looking forward to, with the provincial government, of making that a reality. But as well, just one more quick thank you as the Besco Tumogati people. We did consult with them. They're fully supportive of the project, so it was good to have their support in the community. But just to sum up, because I bet you I'm at the end of my time as well, is I just want to encourage anyone that's watching to come to St. Andrews, enjoy this. It's a beautiful place to visit, and our residents are going to enjoy this, and we really want this to be a vibrant place. And as far as former Mayor Choptiani and Sylvia, I hope when I start going down there and working out with my shirt off that you continue to be supportive of this project. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Henderson. Your words are always enlightening, and I'll be sure not to be there when you've got your shirt off, so thank you. I do want to thank Minister Petitpas Taylor for coming today, our former Mayor Stan Choptiani, council staff, MLA Kathy Baucus of our Standing Committee on Accessibility for New Brunswick. Everybody here that came out today is representing what our community is made of and where we're going. So I do want to thank everybody for participating today. We are going to do a photo op here and a selfie. So our representatives of our community, Carolyn, Davies, our SORTI, our dignitaries, we would like you to come up here in a minute. And then after we do our photos, there will be a media session that'll just be off to the side here. So we thank you all for coming and do appreciate your time, and welcome to your new park. Thank you.